Hi, I'm Harish and I'm an instructor at Freshworks Academy. When we think about potential clients who's never had any contact with you or your organization through cold calling or cold emailing, we often find ourselves grappling with questions like, does cold calling still work? Would cold emailing be a better fit for your business? How can you maximize your conversion rates? It's not enough that you fill your sales funnel with quality prospects and nurture them. You need to get out there and reach out to as many people as possible. But with an important caveat, do it the right way. Because let's face it, nobody wants to be interrupted by cold calls or emails, even though they might actually be in need of your solution. In this video, I will take you through tips that will help you narrow down the right prospects and help you reach out to them in a way that they will like. Build a relationship before you reach out. Instead of calling up an unsuspecting prospect, build a warm relationship beforehand. Could be following them on LinkedIn, commenting on their Facebook posts, or even tweeting a blog post that they've written. This way, when you do send out an email or call them up, there are higher chances that they'd be willing to have a conversation with you. So once you've identified who's interested, you can then use the telephone as a conversion tool as opposed to just a lead gen tool. Sync up with the marketing team. If you have a digital marketing team that is running ads for your product or service to a particular segment, for example, the startup sector in the UK, target your cold calls and emails to that particular segment because the chances are the prospects belonging to that segment might have already come across your ads somewhere. And when you do make the call, they will have some relevance and be willing to have a conversation with you. Research. If you're cold calling somebody with no prior relationship, you're trying to build the trust in a very short period of time. And a major part of its success lies in letting the prospect know that you've made an effort to get to know them. So before calling somebody, do your research first. Find out their name, the industry they're in, the role in their company, etc. You can also look at the company's websites, about, and contact pages. Does it list bios of employees? Do they have contact information for the members or teams that you're targeting? You can also use LinkedIn to look at someone's job function, their education, what their role is, and how long they've been at the current company. For example, someone who's new to the company may not have the right context about the company's needs or may have less influence in the decision-making process. Hug the haters. Every competitor of yours out there has got its share of frustrated customers venting on social media, like Facebook, Slack, Twitter, related forums, etc. Listening in on those conversations can give you insights on who is in need of an alternate solution. Once you've identified the disgruntled customers, email or dial them up and attend to them immediately. If they're frustrated enough to be talking about it on social media, the chances are they'll want to listen to your solution. Call at strategic times. The right time to cold call is not in the morning, not in the evening, not before or after lunch. In fact, with so many variables in play, like time zones, shift timings, etc., there is never an absolute right time that applies across all your prospects. When you send out warm-up emails to a list of targeted leads, use an open tracker or a marketing automation software like Freshmarketer to see when they open their emails. Once you see a particular trend emerging, call them up at that time. Follow up. If you've given your prospects a call or have sent them an email and they haven't responded, it doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't interested. They probably receive hundreds of cold emails and calls each day, and your email may have gotten buried in their inbox. Most sales reps follow up once, probably twice, and when they don't get a response, they move on to the next prospect. This inconsistency results in opportunities slipping through the cracks, which brings us to the next point. Build a sales cadence. So what is sales cadence? A sales cadence is a sequence of touch points with a prospect to establish a connection for an engagement or a sale. It is typically a schedule for sales reps to follow up with each prospect via phone, email, social media channels, etc. Here is an example of a sales cadence to approach a top-level executive. First off, with all the data that you've gathered on the prospect, send a personalized email followed by a connection request on LinkedIn. At the bottom of the email, include how your solution can help your prospect's business perform better. Give it a day, and on day 3, send another email empathizing with their pain points. It helps if you bring in specific business use cases and expressing your thoughts on how your product or service would help them. If you don't hear back from the prospect, wait for a few days, then you can send a follow-up email asking if he or she has received your email and could make time to discuss. If you still don't hear back on day 8, make a phone call in the evening. If unanswered, leave a voicemail and an email. Similarly, cycle through this routine for every single prospect until the total number of touch points is anywhere from 8 to 12 before you stop pursuing the prospect. Email content. The chances of your prospect getting back to you depends on the quality of your email And it's not just enough that you have a killer sales cadence. Without content that is intriguing and informative, it's hard to catch your prospects' attention. Showing case studies of how you've helped your prospects' competitors resonate much better than an unrelated brand. Networking events. Participating in networking events is not just a way to increase brand awareness, but can be a great way to get the contact information of prospects whom you can call or email at a later date and pitch your product or service. Brands oftentimes resort to giving away free goodies to make themselves memorable, but personalized gifts are always better. For example, let's say you get the contact information of a prospect and take a selfie with him or her on the day of the event. On a later date, when you do want to pitch, it's likely that he or she would have all but forgotten about you. But instead, if you send them an email with a selfie you took right before you call them up, they'd be able to better recall and even be willing to take you up as a client because you made them feel special. So before making the cold call, do something quirky and personalized that makes them remember you. Although there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to cold approaching prospects, combining all these methods can certainly help you create a genuine connection with them, leading to a real conversation about your solution to their problem. So what do you think is the best way to cold approach prospects? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more educational content about sales, support and marketing, join Freshworks Academy. The link is in the description. Until next time, bye and happy cold approaching.